Big family.
Good evening. Welcome everyone to the Virtual Community Charter School Board of Trustees meeting. It's December 16th, 2025, and it is 7:01. That'll be 7:01 p.m. So thank you everyone for your timely arrival. And happy holidays to everyone. And I love all the festive colors in the room. So I'm trying to contribute to that a little bit. So we got the memo, all of us, that's from the teacher. Yeah. So prior to tonight's board meeting, the board entered into executive session to discuss real estate and legal matters. So again, happy holidays, and let's move on with our agenda for tonight. And everyone reviewing the agenda. And next, let's review the minutes. Thank you, Alex, for your submission, and I know that everyone has read it before your arrival. Do we have a motion?
Motion to accept the minutes is submitted.
Thank you, Gus. Second, Jill. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Let's go to public input. At the moment, seeing no public, but we'll come back to that at the end of the meeting. Do we have any public on virtual? So those that may be viewing this at a later time, thank you for doing that. So let's go to the CEO office report. Alyssa, the baton to you.
Thank you, Dr. Colombo. Good evening, everyone. A few items from the CEO office tonight. First, I want to say thank you to the Education Committee for the flexibility. I did have to cancel this month's meeting due to the boiler issues at the elementary school last Monday. Looking forward to meeting with the committee in January. Last week, unfortunately, we did have to close the elementary school for an emergency facilities issue related to our boiler. Students and staff transition to virtual instruction for Tuesday through Friday. And we did utilize our PDE approved FID plan, our flexible instructional day plan, to allow for that virtual instruction. A really big thank you to the families and students for their support last week and for navigating that last minute change, but also a big shout out to Corey for leading his staff through that transition as well. We're happy that students are back in the building this week, and that students were able to receive instruction last week while we did have to shut down the building. Also last Monday, which was very busy, we received a surprise visit from the Department of Education to monitor our Keystone exam administration. Every year PDE selects a number of LEAs and schools to visit when they are administering PSSAs or Keystone exams, and it was our turn. So that afternoon, they came, they interviewed Mr. Burak, myself, many of the test administrators, which were teachers and staff members, asked us a series of questions related to test security, the handling of test materials, the monitoring of student test sessions, and we were found to be compliant or meeting expectations for our administration of the Keystone exam. So shout out to Mr. Burak and his team of test administrators and proctors for upholding the expectations and the security of those tests. I want to thank the staff members who donated to the memory of Mr. Rigoberto Hernandez. He is the father of two of our elementary students and the uncle of two of our elementary students. He was the gentleman who passed away in the hit and run event that happened in the city of Allentown right before Thanksgiving. So we were thankful that we could provide the family with a small donation to help them during this time. So thank you to the staff who donated for that. We were invited to decorate a Christmas tree at the Lehigh Valley International Airport. So if anyone is traveling this season, it is by the Allegiant desk, right by the doors, if you will. We decorated the tree in the honor of Roberto Clemente. Mrs. Vicenti helped me to decorate the tree, and she created some custom baseball and baseball bat ornaments to put on the tree. Also, we represented many Latin American countries through flags. I got one picture of a student posing in front of our archery who is traveling over the Thanksgiving break, which was really cool.
yeah.
And that will remain up over the Christmas holiday, and it has a sign with our school on it, so a nice way to represent RCCS in the greater community. And for those who are traveling through that airport. And that's all I wanted to highlight tonight with the board.
Thank you. Thank you very much on this, your CEO report. Anyone have any questions or comments for the CEO report?
Nope.
Thank you. Let's go to the principal offices. And tonight, we'll start with the high school, the nightmare before Christmas.
Thank you. I just want to start off, giving a couple shout outs. I wanted to give shout outs to my Keystone Test administrators. We did have a successful week of testing. We finished up today actually with our Keystone testing. But wanted to give a shout out to Laura Ashworth, Sue Marlin, Alicia, Laura Usher, Stephen Bodie, Silver Reynolds, Madeline Rivera, and Stephanie Cabrera. They did an awesome job of administering the test, maintaining test environment requirements, and we were found compliant, so that was good news for us. I also want to give a shout out to our security guard, Mr. K, Wade. Mr. K always goes above and beyond in his role as security and has been doing some work at the elementary school. Help them out as they're trying to get a new guard. But he's built a strong relationship with students and he's always willing to help out, give ideas. He helped to get all of our lockers good to go and organized, and all the kids assigned lockers and phone boxes. He does a lot of good stuff for us, so I wanted to give him a shout out. Our attendance for November, we did see a pretty good drop in November. We had a lot of just overall, even staff included, a lot of just sick people, like just getting, the flu, a lot of illness, a lot of travel as well in there. We had a lot of people, going away, for a lot of students traveling for Thanksgiving, which I think is accounts for some of this attendance dip. We also do have a few kids who are continually showing issues with truancy, and we've been working on those and reaching out to families, and we did have to do one citation so far for students not coming to school. So we're hoping to see some improvement there. We just got through our Q2 progress reports. We're already halfway through Q2, which is crazy. Like I said, we just finished Keystones. Our infraction report for November, we have 22 level 2s, 6 level 3s, 1 level 4. A lot of our level 2s, we've been really trying to target some of the language usage in our classrooms and some of the things that they're saying. So teachers have been putting in those write-ups a lot more frequently so that I can have these conversations with some of these students. And, we've got extended lunch detentions, after school detentions, conferences with parents. We did have one out of school suspension due to a fight between a high schooler and an 8th grader, or no, 6th grader, sorry. Which was, yeah. Ms. Himmelberger might be able to comment a little bit more on that one. She dealt with that.
Comment too much on
situation.
actual student discipline.
That's right.
We can speak to the data related to them.
And we did see 4 out of our 6 level 3 write-ups had to do with kids who were making jokes to their friends that were threatening their friends. So we had to have some conversations with them about what are appropriate jokes to make with your friends while you're in school. Even if they're made in jest.
Yeah, is that like a joke between you and me about messing with her kind of thing, or I'm messing with each other?
Messing with each other.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be very nervous if it's towards a third party.
No, it'd be towards each other.
It's just, okay.
Yeah. We did have 32 positive office referrals for the month of November, so we're seeing still good numbers with that. We had our college college and career update, 15 seniors have been accepted to one or more four-year colleges.
Cool.
Those are some of the schools listed there. We had a Kutztown trip, December 4th. And we have some more upcoming trips, in January. We did have a 3v3 basketball tournament on the 10th. It was a, crazy bracket, but the seniors ended up facing off against the sixth grade. Sixth grade,
Really?
sixth grade
Great.
dominated this tournament almost, and I mean, the seniors were kind of struggling to keep up with the sixth graders, to be honest.
No, so I doubt that they had a height advantage, so they were probably just dead eyes, right?
Yeah, well, there was one, at the last game, there was one sixth grader who probably dropped like 5 3-pointers in a
Okay,
row.
yeah.
It was a very fun
Wow.
game.
Cool.
Successful fundraiser. We're doing our Spirit Week this week, hence the ugly sweaters. And that's pretty much all I've got.
Thank you, Josh, thanks so much.
Cool.
So for the high school report, any questions, comments for high school? No, thank you so much.
Yeah, is this the, down at the bottom, you have the Winter Olympics, is that part of what
It's
the
for,
activities that,
yeah, it's
Okay.
sort of related. It was something we started either last year or the year before
Yeah.
that, where, our gym teacher we set up some games in the gym and the students come in and they're all like winter themed type games.
oh, cool.
So it's a fun little event for the kids.
Yeah, we had that way back in my high school, believe it or not, as well, and that's so cool. And you get the class rivalries and stuff like that
Yeah.
show up, and so,
Yeah,
that's cool, love it.
Thank you again. Let's go to the elementary school. Brittany, Corey, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. From the elementary school, starting off with our attendance, I am happy to report that we were well over 96% attendance, and that is with being closed for 3 days due to the boiler. So
Yeah.
it's great to report that the students are coming back to school, even when it's a little chilly out. For our academic achievement, we are planning to do our end of marking period 2 benchmark testing when we come back from
Okay.
the winter break. So we are spacing that out in the month of January. We'll report more on that once we have all the testing wrapped up.
Looking at discipline, we have 0, level 2, 3, and 4 infractions. We did have 10 level 1 infractions that are kind of being handled through administration, but also with peer mediation, with counselor, with teacher, conversations with staff and students to kind of just build that positive community within the building. Positive office referrals, we are down from October from 126 to 89 in November, which I'm still super pleased about because with 3 days off and the Thanksgiving break, I thought our number would be a little bit less, but we are seeing that the students are truly interested in it, in earning these positive office referrals. They're really trying to meet our qualities of a successful learner to kind of earn these referrals, and I think the staff is really enjoying being able to praise the students and give them these referrals as well. Also, every month I give the staff a PBIS newsletter from me, which you can see is attached to the back of the
Oh, did I miss it?
report.
And,
On here, each month I give the staff an update on the infractions based off each level. I go through the positive office referrals as to how many each grade put in through the system. I then go through and give them some different strategies for PBIS to be utilized within the classroom. And then I also kind of do a little bit of bragging on some of this staff, just some of the great things that are happening within the building. So they get this every month, and just so the teachers are up to date and they know what's happening, kind of lets them get a perspective on what's to come and what we're looking at in the upcoming month and what we want to kind of try to target.
Okay, for our college and career, we did squeeze a couple college and career presenters in. The Attorney General's office was in, and then we had representatives from the Weller Center who came in and did presentations to grades K-5. And our school counselor, Lauren Slinsky, she is working with fourth grade right now on their Safer Smarter and their college and career lessons. I just want to note, John, if you know anybody over at Nutripoli Bank, my sincerest apologies, because every time we have them coming in, the boiler decides to say, no, thank you. So we do have them tentatively scheduled for a third time next month.
Is it cause and effect?
It might be, but, yeah, the last two times, November and December, we were closed for the boiler.
Last year we had. to
Last year we had to reschedule them, I believe, when school shut down for political reasons.
Oh,
But yes, they're fantastic and they are
They're
super
very
flexible with
flexible.
that. Our bilingual activities, or our Spanish spelling bee is this Friday. Contrary to other years, we are going to be holding it in our physical education space because the cafeteria is not accessible at the
Yeah.
time, but both Spanish teachers are excited for that, which is due on Friday.
and they're
Okay,
doing
nice.
like a list of like winter related words, like holiday words, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Somehow I think
Yeah.
Spanish spelling bee is just sort of cheating.
They are putting a twist on it this year. They are going to have some of the
Yeah.
homeroom teachers face off with their
There
classes.
you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
In November, we did have quite a few professional development days. We had a presenter from the IU come in to do trauma-informed education. That was followed by our own school counselor following up with specifically what that looks like and sounds like in our current context. Our ESL department did more EL mini workshops, and then right before Thanksgiving, we ended with a micro SWOT of one strategy, one success, classroom hacks, to sharing out things that people do that work and their colleagues may not know about it. I'll let you talk about the staff shout out.
So we
Well,
saw, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
No, sorry. Quick question on that. Who were the primary participants in workshops? You know, is that not by class? Is that by?
So they split it by grade level bands. So we had a K
Right.
1 and 2 together with one of the ESL teachers, and then 3, 4, 5 with the other ESL teacher. But it was very similar as to what they were presenting. So like the ESL standards, the can-do descriptors, and just how they can work in some of the EL modifications across grade levels.
Yeah, and part of my question is that what's the target population for those workshops? Is it everybody?
Yes,
Oh, it is?
yes, because all of our staff works with EL students, and if they're not identified, Spanish is a part of their lifestyle.
Okay, so it's all students who are
Mhm.
talented, which is excellent. Okay, that's the part I wanted to hear. Thank you.
So we did see such interest in the positive office referral for the students. And we thought that since the staff was getting very into it as well, what better way to do and celebrate staff is to do a staff shout out card. So each week staff is able to shout out other staff members through this little card that they'll fill out and put into a bin. At the end of the week on Friday, I shake up the bin and I kind of pick one of the shout out cards from that bin. And whoever it is, I announce over the loudspeaker that they are the person that received the staff shout out for that week. And they get to come down and spin the teacher wheel of prizes. So I have got a wheel that has teacher prizes on it. So they get to come down. We saw a great turnout before we got shut down. So, or we went virtual for a little while. But
Everyone looks at the list. Before we got shut down, all this off.
We really just want to build that staff morale within
Yeah.
the building, and no better way than to have them shout out each other and celebrate each other's successes. And we are seeing that it just builds a good school culture, and we hope that it continues and that staff feel comfortable shouting out. And then whoever gave a card will then get it put on their desk so they can read what their colleagues are saying about them.
What's the highly desirable prize on the bill?
So, well, there's a bunch of things. There's like big paper clips, there's like big sticky notes, but then we have like teacher bracelets. We have all different varieties. So each little wheel, color on the wheel has a different prize that is kind of correlated to it. So, but they only get, so even if they get two, like with the students, if they get 2 certificates, they get to spin the wheel twice because they were highlighted twice for different areas. However, staff only, if they get multiple shout out cards, they're only allowed to spin the wheel one time. But no, they're really enjoying it. And I think that I'm hoping that it continues with the high success rate that we had the first week.
And culturally, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Great. We did have parent-teacher conferences right before the Thanksgiving break. Of those 258 that were scheduled, we did have 203 attend. I know there's always a question about virtual in person. We are seeing more of a shift towards the virtual option. We had 175 virtual conferences scheduled
Oh.
compared to 83 in person.
Okay,
Overall,
That's-
if they can make it on their lunch break or, time in between.
yeah, now this statistic, the attendance statistic is either one, or
Mhm.
the sum of both, right?
Yep.
Virtual and
Yep.
person.
We are holding a parent workshop tomorrow, between Miss Tullier, our one Spanish teacher, and Mrs. Zelinsky, our school counselor. They're going to offer a parent presentation, for any willing parents who want to come out, just some parenting tips, things that are kind of popping up in the community. And that is going to be hosted by a representative from the CHC. And then, Dr. Colombo, do you know if the gifts were delivered yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so a little precursor
I thought I
to.
paid you my donation tomorrow, so I'm so glad they haven't been.
So I just want to give a proactive
Mhm.
thank you to Gina and Sleek Style Salon for sponsoring a family this year during the holiday season, collecting gifts and donations. So thank you for that. And then also a thank you and celebration for all the staff members who helped translate during parent-teacher conferences. They were fantastic. And then we'll be thanking them again next month, but all the supporting departments, IT, facilities, food
Yeah.
service, who have been helping that transition between in-person and then virtual, not in
Right.
school. They're awesome with just meeting the needs of the elementary students. And the calendar, we have a lot coming up.
Yeah, when you have the virtual, like the outages that we recently had. How do the parents participate, or how do the students participate? They're calling in?
So what we did, and
It's-
again,
it was like a
a big
Zoom
thank
kind?
you to the IT department last Monday. Les and I were on the phone with Jose late morning, we're like, we need to roll this out in about
Like-
2 hours.
Now.
Hey,
You got as much time as you need.
So all the computer carts are brought down, Stephanie printed out rosters, we had everything ready to go, so that way the parents that come in on Monday afternoon, they could come in Monday morning, and then we are giving out breakfast between 8 and 9, and the parents could pick up. So we did have about 200 or so parents come and pick up a student Chromebook, a charger, and a case last
Cool.
week.
Yeah.
Thank you again, elementary school,
Yeah.
Corey and Brittany. Any
Okay.
questions, any more questions, comments for elementary schools?
No.
Go to minutes. Pamela?
Thank you very much.
You have a good time?
All right, so I'm gonna start with my shout outs. Wanted to give a shout out to Miss Coxos. She is our 8th grade math teacher and our 8th grade team. She's really kind of been a cheerleader of that team to help build relationships with families. One of the things that they kind of do on the regular is during their common planning time, there's a kid they want to celebrate, or if there's a kid that is kind of being a little itchy in the classroom, they call that parent collectively. And, celebrate or address concerns. It's kind of, it's hard for teachers sometimes to make that parent phone call. And the parents are often, if it's happening in more than one classroom, it gets them engaged. And if it's not happening in more than one classroom, the teachers usually end up helping each other kind of brainstorm solutions to help each other with individual students. So that's been working out really well. And she's been a great cheerleader and champion of that. Conferences this year, we kind of made a switch. It's kind of been a notorious kind of walk in and meet the teacher, so to speak. So I wanted all of the teachers this year to individually invite all parents. And we sent out 2 versions of invitations. One was for, your kid's doing great in school. We don't need to see you, but if you would like to stop by, please let us know. The other version was for, we need to see your kid. Any student who is sitting with an F on their report card, any student who has some behavioral or attendance issues, the plan was to get them in there. So we'll take a look at that data then. The letters did go out pretty late. It was kind of a late brainchild, so hopefully the next time through we get a better response with that. We're still actively seeking out parents and reaching out to them.
The periodicity is what, semi-annual or semester? What's the period?
End of first quarter was
Quarter.
the,
Quarterly,
were the conferences, yeah.
okay.
And then do we have spring
End of third
conferences?
quarter, yeah, end of first and end of third.
Oh, okay, so it's
Yep.
kind of semi-annual,
Yep.
but, and, okay, got it.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ms. Rex. She is my ESL middle school teacher, and she came to me, I don't know, maybe like early December, late November, and was like, oh, let's start talking about weed. I'm like, it's middle of January, we're fine. And she has really kind of been on me. She has been pivotal in making sure everything is organized and ready for that to go. So shout out to her for all of her dedication and hard work around that. And I also wanted to give a tremendous shout out here for a high school teacher, actually, who is mentoring one of my new teachers. She is a mentee's dream. She has really been a strong presence in our new teacher's classroom and is an example of what mentorship should be.
Ms. Lemon.
Amazing. She's a high school science teacher. So just real quick, I have all of my attendance data, academic data, discipline data on the dashboard that I provided. So if you take a look at that, obviously we don't have any quarterly benchmarks to update at this point. But you'll see in November, we did see a drop in attendance, similar to the high school. Again, we had extended absences over the holiday break. We had quite a bit of illness. The illness was pretty rampant there for a couple weeks. They didn't get me down and out though. Lots of vitamin C.
Knock on wood.
Well, I was down and out over the break, but they didn't knock me out of school. Referrals were down significantly in sixth grade in terms of level 1 referrals. But those level 1 referrals came down pretty significantly in all grade levels, as well as level 2, 3 and 4 referrals. I don't have mine broken down differently. I can definitely do that if you would rather. So we did see a little bit of a decrease in referrals, not much in 7th and 8th grade, but we'll take that. Again, it was a shortened month too, so maybe we don't want to give them too much credit. We did see a decrease in our positive referrals in 7th and 8th grade, and 6th grade ticked back up. And really they come from one 6th grade teacher who is just celebrating kids often. Over again on quarterly target side, we are not at the end of quarter 2. One of the things we did that I've added to this is our current instructional focus. So you'll see that the indicator that's there is the standard that is the most heavily weighted in that grade level, and is showing the lowest percentage of students demonstrating proficiency. Ironically, it is the same standard in reading and math. That makes common planning discussions a little more aligned. But for example, in 6th grade math, the standards they cover in expressions and equations is different than what 7th grades and 8th grades would be. So we're focusing our common planning time around that. When I'm visiting classrooms, those are some of the things that I'm looking for, generating some ideas on how to ramp that up. So hopefully quarter 2, we'll see some increases there. Also down in ESL, again with Miss Rex. We've taken a look at some ESL data, and speaking and listening is really the one score that is keeping our students from performing better and exiting out of ESL. And so we're giving them lots of speaking and listening practice. She's running little workshops with them, and we're going after that and addressing some other root causes. So that is just a quick little overview of the data. Back to attendance, we're focusing on tardies right now. We weren't, again, I don't think we don't have a whole lot of students who are falling into the chronic category for attendance, but we are noticing some students who are racking up some minutes on tardies, having one-on-one conversations with students and families. In academics, we are, again, that prioritized area of focus. I had reported at the end of first quarter that sixth grade was, going to be using planners, so I bought them planners. You guys bought them planners? And I am so happy to report sixth grade is loving it. The students are loving it. We're seeing them build some good organizational skills. And they've kind of become a tool that we've put in kids' laps when we are having seventh and eighth grade conversations with students as well. So we're getting some good use out of the planners right now. Conferences, again, we had a really late to the table invite. We did see 11 conferences happen in sixth grade, 11 out of seventh grade, and 8 out of eighth grade. Again, we are not finished hounding those parents yet. Really trying to get them in. We are also trying to accommodate time of day for them, and helping them eliminate barriers to those conferences.
Has there been resistance at all to it, or just availability?
Say again?
Has there been resistance to that, or just availability?
Just availability at this point. Yeah, we have not had parents say to us, no, I'm not coming in.
Hmm.
It's just kind of been, I have 2 jobs, so, we've done some Zoom conferences or phone call conferences, and just a matter of connecting with those parents. Discipline wise, we are just picking up, starting with our school counselor. So we'll be getting that back into play, and we'll be starting up some small groups with CHC again and with our new guidance counselor. College and career, we've started prepping for our April career fair. Last month we had 8th grade visit Northampton Area Community College, and 7th grade visited the Lehigh Carbon Community College. Both of those visits were well attended by just about the entire class, and it was really great to see some interest sparked in them. And both of those campuses were fabulous. It's the first time I was
We
there.
provide the transportation by bus.
Yep. As far as our events that we've held, 8th grade, they had a field trip to Camp Fowler. We took the entire 8th grade. It was not a reward trip because the focus was team building, and it was a phenomenal experience for the kids. And the teacher. So it was just a great, I've never been there before either. And one of my teachers in 8th grade is actually a summer counselor there. So he recommended it. I'm like, sure. And it went really well for them.
Where is Kent?
It is up in Orfield area. Yeah.
Did they do like ropes?
They didn't do any of the ropes courses or anything like that. Because it was cold.
Right.
They had a bonfire for them. They roasted marshmallows and had hot cocoa. We went for hikes. I beat them all to the top of the hill. They were all pretty whiny. You need to build a big hill at the middle school to expend their energy. Yeah, just fun. We had some inside activities, and yeah, it was a great experience for them. Ice cream social, we had kids who grew 50 points or were proficient or advanced on the STAR testing. They had an ice cream social. I did not write down how many kids. I think we had, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a majority of the kids. Student council right now, we are finishing up our coat drive. We'll be walking our coats over to the Allentown Rescue Mission on Thursday.
Cool.
And this was a high school day of service, and I put it on here because it was last minute. I coordinated with Heartland Hospice. Their Allentown location is not there anymore, so I took them to the Reading location, which is near where I live. And they emailed me the other day, actually, and were just so excited that they had cards that were in Spanish. They said so many times their Spanish speaking residents are forgotten. And she has emailed me twice to thank me for that. So we'll be sure to be doing some more of that. Professional development, again, kind of focusing on helping teachers build those standards and address those standards in their daily planning, how to spiral them. Providing some more information on PAE-TAP for observations and what that process looks like. And just, we're always coming back to classroom management strategies, because discipline is, it's a middle school thing. And they need us to just be clear and consistent. And by the time they go to high school, they'll be better. Yep. Ongoing PD, again, reading and literacy across the content area, supporting that area of focus, kind of staying in tune to PSSA eligible content and what, that's looking like, making sure that we're preparing our students to, know how to take a test appropriately. We do testing coming up, STAR testing coming up, and we will be reopening our library in January.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who does the test prep teaching?
Who,
They're, if they're just doing preparation, I mean, the prep work.
for our PSSA test?
Yeah, is there anyone that's instructing them for this or?
So the teachers are, they're using
Okay.
the released items that are on PD's website, on the SAS website.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you again. Other comments?
Fine.
Let's go to human resources. Michael, pass the baton to you.
Good evening, everyone. In tonight's human resource report, first, we're requesting board ratification of the following new hires. Zoe Fernandez, 7th, 8th grade science teacher, Jose Cosme Jimenez, second shift custodian, and Emily Ellis, school social worker. I'll stop there for a motion.
Yeah, motion to approve. This is appointment of the Zoe, Jose and Emily.
All right, we need a second. Thank you, Jill. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Since our last meeting, there have been no resignations. I'll send the report. We continue our search for a part-time instructional assistant at the elementary level. Additionally, several offers have been accepted and we are waiting
cool.
final documentation. These hires will be formally reported in next month's meeting and include administrative, athletics, facilities, and food service positions. Lastly, the HR committee is presenting for first reading the direct deposit change policy, which strengthens safeguards and aligns with Pennsylvania wage payment and collection law requirements. And again, no action is needed now. Just first reading.
Yeah.
And that is all for the HR report.
Michael, great. The 4 positions offer accepted. Looks like it means it's not. Other questions, comments for the human resources department for Michael?
Nope.
Thank you so much. Let's go to the business office, please.
Thank you.
And Chuck, will pass the baton.
All right, you just said your business report and the November financial reports went out. The repayment list, the finance committee did review all reports this past Friday. I'll just note, we, at this point, have received the updated 363 forms from every school district except Allentown. We didn't have Parkland when I did the business report, because Parkland's just came in, so it's just Allentown's really. As far as our unassigned fund balance, sitting right around 15% of our operating budget, about 1.7 million. And about 855,000 in disbursements for the month of November. Highlighted a few of those. So you take any questions?
Yeah, real quick, that percentage is typical for this particular time of year, I mean, time of the school year, or it's a little high.
It is, it'll be a little higher. If anything, it drops off a little bit because as the year goes on. If we lose kids, especially in the, like the secondary school range, typically don't get them back, so the revenue might tip a little bit, but usually at this time of year, we might be running like 13-14%.
So it's a little higher than.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I
we
was thinking.
try to keep it between 8 and 12, so. You know, we'll. Then sit tight till after the boiler issues resolved before we see if we want to assign any of those funds.
Yeah. Numerically, do you have a sense of what the 3% differential was, where it come from? I'm just curious, it's numbers.
Well, again, typically on the expense side, it's gonna come from staff transition. So,
Alright.
you know, even though we may have all positions filled, some of those positions may have been vacant, may have been filled when we were passing the budget, but then over the summer, they became vacant, we hired new people.
Okay,
Now all of a sudden, that employee that left had a family on insurance and the new employee is single, you know, that kind of
okay,
stuff.
all
So
right.
we will typically see that, so. And we
I mean,
budget very
Yeah,
conservative.
would you consider that's in the slot then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions from the payment list or the quotes themselves?
Well, all right, then I wanna move to, you're not gonna go over any details of the payment list, right? It's all pretty straightforward, so.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I listed a couple things there to highlight.
All right, the motion to approve the payment list is submitted.
Thank you, Gus.
Second.
And thank you, John, for the second. For all in favor of the motion for approval of the November payment list, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
I will note on the first page of the business report, down under grants, donations, and any reports, that third bullet does not need any board motion. However, we just put a little blurb in the minutes that it was presented in the public meeting, and then after today's meeting, it'll get posted on the website.
Okay,
So again, that would be that we have filed the AFR, so that official report is part of the agenda. Next, under the contracts and agreements, so we did, now that the state passed the budget, we are starting with some of these other state monies in, federal monies in. So we did get the actual use of funds agreement for our IDEA 611 monies. So the breakdown of that grant itself is on the bottom of page 1. The agreement is on the top of page 2. So the board action that we need is the board to approve us entering into that use of funds agreement. And that is with the IU. The amount is for $66,982. That runs the fiscal year. And that is strictly for special education services.
motion to approve the use of funds agreement with Carbon Lehigh.
Second.
Thank you, Jill. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
And then lastly, as you know, the last board meeting, we had discussed the repairs that were being done to the boiler line. That amount came in at $28,000 total. Repairs were done. The boiler was up and running for a little bit less than a week, and then we had a catastrophic failure with the unit, the boiler itself. The boiler is inoperable. They could get parts for it, but it doesn't make sense. So if you know anything about boilers, which it looks like all of you do, that heat exchange is divided into a certain number of sections. Each section weighs about 1,000 pounds. When they took the jacket off the boiler to see what the damage was exactly, the end section, again, there's 7 sections of it. The end section had a big crack in it. All the water was gushing out. Obviously can't make steam if you don't have the water. Who knows what other damage was done? They would have to take apart each section just to see what other damage was done. It's a 40-year-old boiler, so at that, at this point, it has to be replaced. That number came in at $55,000, and a little over 55,000. So we're working with our landlord to get that work started. So what we are asking for the board, and I'll take questions in a second. We do have assigned funds for emergency purposes. So what we would like to do is ask the board that we spend up to $20,000 towards those repairs. Again, we do have a lease with the landlord that kind of spells out how those calculations are done. So again, the cost of both the line repair and the boiler itself, you know, totals about, it's a little under 80,000. So if we run those calculations, pad that number a little bit in case towards the end of the project, there's some change orders or what have you. The finance committee, thought it would be prudent to, come to the board tonight and ask that they give the approval for us to spend up to $20,000 towards the repairs of both those lines and the boiler itself.
Yeah, it's a question. You prefaced this by there had been an inspection of, and then later on, the big boo happened.
So
What was missed in the inspection? Who did the inspection?
No inspection. So the first repairs which were on the lines, the boiler lines themselves, those were repaired. Everything was working fine. Correct, two separate things.
Never mind.
So that work was done, and as we told the board last month, there was some asbestos, so we had to get things,
Yeah,
everything was removed. We had the air test done. Everything came back great, so we could move forward with the work. Work was done. MBI came in, they were actually working Thanksgiving Day weekend. So we get that up and running, and Corey, as you know, I think the building was actually running a little warmer than what it normally does.
just a little bit.
So it was working, so that.
Corey was walking around in a t-shirt.
Hey, you thought you're in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, yeah, the crack in that boiler,
So there's no cause and effect here.
there's not, and we had already, we got the proposal, so I had already met with HAO. They're aware of the proposal, they're aware of both options, both replacing certain parts or replacing the whole thing. HAO was 100% replace the whole thing. It's a 40-year-old boiler, they wouldn't even try to piece together parts, so. You know, we'll get that all squared away and get that work lined up. Hopefully, we can get that all done over the Christmas break so that when the kids come back in January, we're good to go. So again, tonight, we just need the board's approval to use up to 20,000 of that emergency fund that's assigned to put that towards getting these repairs done.
So we need a motion,
Yep,
please.
I'll make that motion to approve an amount up to 20 million, 20.
20 million.
Percentage of responsibility for the.
Thank you, John.
I second the motion.
There goes my trip. Yeah. Start. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries.
Who was the second? Who seconded?
Ruth.
Not for 20, okay.
Yeah, check, cross out the 20
Don't
million.
let that go.
We're hoping, yeah.
A million is this much. 100 is this much.
Anything else for the business office?
Now, just to follow up on, we had that first part of the work, under the facilities update, you'll see that air quality test and when that was actually conducted. And when the repairs were done, so again, there was asbestos identified there.
Yeah.
It was removed professionally, they took the appropriate air tests that are required by law, everything was good. Everything was done, and we were back in, we had heat for a while.
Well, apparently too much. 'cause he was walking around.
That's it.
Okay, thank you, business office. Any other questions or comments for Charlie? Okay, let's go to public input. Seeing no public online or in three dimensions here. So public, if we review this later, again, thank you for your time. Let's go to new business. Hearing no new business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Do we have a second? Who's second?
Second.
Kathy.
Second.
All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions. Motion carries. Wonderful holidays.
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Happy holiday, everyone.
Happy New Year.
I'll see you.